that Jack Owens. It sends me the worst things. Hello everybody, this is Ben with EmpireTV.tv, and we are here again to show you some awesome new comic books for the week. By the time you see this, I'll probably be open at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. And I'm sorry, it'll go up Tuesday night. And you can come in and get all of these. So, we're going to start with the book that is probably the one I'm most excited about this week. It's the new Brubaker book. And they're doing it in two formats, and I probably should have been more prepared here. You've got your traditional comic book size, and then you've got this neat magazine size with a lot of extras in the back. Some stories, lots of reading in this one, guys. But it's set in the, I believe it's the 1950s. I don't believe that they actually gave me an official day. And we're watching the movie industry from behind the scenes. So you're getting introduced to the writers, to the actresses, to the guy who runs the security. And of course, being a murder mystery, someone dies, things start to get strange, things are being covered up, and there's one individual who knows the story who has to do what his guts tell him to do, which is the right thing. Great story, good setup, lots of questions, and I know with those two that there's going to be a lot of twists and turns as we go to it. Let's stick with the indie stuff. Supreme Blue Rose, #2 comes out. Warren Ellis, this is actually based on the Rob Liefeld book, Supreme. Don't let that put you off, because if you've read Glory or if you've read Prophet, he's giving the property to new creators, or old creators, Warren Ellis, and they're doing new things with it. In the first one, we get introduced to a young woman who is an out-of-work reporter. She's brought into this organization that's completely hidden behind the scenes. The government knows about him, rich people know about him, and they offer her vast amounts of money to uncover one secret. And that's it. She gets like $500,000 up front. She's going to get another $1 million when she completes it. And of course, the secret, it revolves around Supreme, where he is, what the whole deal about him. It was a really interesting story, and a lot like the Fade Out, because it was like a mystery book. BPRD, great jumping on place for new readers. I think that's what it says. Yeah, starting point for new readers, right up top. I think I talked about that book enough. More Warren Ellis, that means I'm a monster right now. Sons of Anarchy, this has got to be coming on to Netflix. Is it? Like when? Soon. 2 weeks. So I get to watch the most recent season. And if you want more adventures, I don't know if they're adventures, if you want more exploits from your favorite characters, this is not an adaptation of the show. It's extra stuff to weave itself into the show. Now this, okay, Dark Horse Presents was doing their books recently, and it's an anthology. You've got a bunch of short stories by top creators, and a lot of the books actually end up spinning out into their own titles. It was a hefty price point. It had $8 an issue. This one is now $4.99, and they're kicking it off with Jeff Darrow doing Big Guy and Rusty the Robot. So that sold me immediately, and it's now in my collection. Of course, I have a couple of the other Dark Horses too, because they made me buy it for Buffy and something else. I can't remember. Retelling of Little Nemo. We are following, well, we're introduced to a new Nemo. It's not a redo. Technically, everything that you read before or know of before happened, and the princess is looking for a new companion. She sends out popcorn and bonbon to try and bring this little kid. This is the strangest thing to say. She sends out popcorn and bonbon, and evidently Slumberland is really dangerous because poor Bonbon, spoiler alert, gets his candy legs eaten off by a giant monster in a chocolate river. It was a lot of fun. It's an all-ages book, and the art is great. The art is done by the gentleman who worked on Lock and Key, which is now finished up, so as soon as that final trade comes in, I can read the whole thing. MLP, what more need to be said? Ultimates, this one kind of wraps things up. Next issue will give you a good place to jump on. You got Kitty on the team, you got Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man, although I don't think he calls himself Ultimate Spider-Man, he just calls himself Spider-Man. You got Cloak and Dagger, you have Bombshell. This is them going up against the Serpent Skull, is what they call the group, Serpent Skulls. It's really the Serpent Society. You've got Anaconda, for some reason Crossbones is on there. But this is the final one. They're finally trying to track them down, take them out, because they killed Bombshell's boyfriend, and she is pretty pissed, and in this issue, it gets really explosive. In fact, I think there's probably some dead civilians across that. Deadpool week, boom. This one's coming out weekly until it's done, which I think one more issue. And Deadpool is in Secret Avengers this week if you're a Deadpool fanatic. Storm, and the Morlocks, because you can't have a Storm story without her going down there. New Avengers. I think I'm a couple issues behind. I can't tell you this one, sorry. Now this I'm excited about because Punisher, I was reading from #1, but they were selling so well, I didn't get some of the issues. So I've got to pick up the trade so that I can get caught up. Punisher over the last few years has just been fantastic. They have done nothing but great stuff with him, and this one continued to do it. So, and actually it was a continuation from the previous one with the girl. Action. Multiversity, a lot of people have been excited about this. We've been getting a lot of requests to add this to the Saver. So the DC universe, and evidently I don't know that a lot of people understand this because everything takes place in the modern, or the regular DCU, in all the books except for Earth 2 and World's Finest technically because they came over from Earth 2. But DC is this giant multiverse with 52 different worlds, layers of gods. If you go to our Facebook page or if you go to DC Comics, they have an interactive map so you can see what is going on. Essentially, you've got these 52 different worlds, all of them with different heroes, different themes, different takes on everything, almost like an Elseworlds. And then you have a ring of gods, like the new gods, who are, there's only one of them for all of those worlds. But it's a neat little thing to go take a peek at and learn a lot more about DC. This one, we're introduced to 3 of the worlds out there as they collide. And it's just a ridiculous ride. I mean, look at who's on there.
Rabbit.
Yes, Captain Carrot. So, and there's a monkey. A chimpanzee, I can't remember his name, but it's Grant Morrison, so that one is actually really exciting. The continuation of Hunting for Robin. Batman in the last one declared to the Justice League that he was going to Apocalypse. He didn't care what they said. He was going to do it regardless. He was going to go get Robin's body back, and a whole issue of him not going to Apocalypse. So that was really disappointing, actually. But he actually goes to Apocalypse on the last page. So the next part of searching for Robin's body. Do we know why Apocalypse, or why Darkseid has his son? No, he just has him. Why wouldn't you want Batman's son? He could make an army of Parademons with Batman's son.
There was something that had to do with like diamonds, though.
All right, I'll have to look that up. Yeah. Forever People, I just like to push this one because it's more New God stuff, and not enough of you read it. In fact, more of you should read it. In fact, some of the people who I thought would have read it went to the Saver's Cliff. He'll never watch it. don't have that on their list. Batman Eternal continues. Future's End, of course, those are both weekly titles. This one deals with 5 years in the future. That one deals with Gotham City, and you're dealing with all kinds of things from Arkham Asylum. He's with Croc down in the sewers tracking down killers. So it's just a really fantastic book. In fact, I'm waiting for them to get to the Catwoman stuff. So that's about it. What do we have going on around the shop? We have got, we're starting up a graphic novel book club. It's going to be the second Thursday of every month from 6:30 to 7:30, except for the very first month in September. It's now the third Thursday, because that second Thursday you shouldn't be here. You should be down at the CrockerCon with me. There's going to be a ton of guests. There's going to be writers, artists, just anyone locally involved in the scene. And it's a mini convention for one night only. So remember, the CrockerCon is where you want to be. We also have the September 20th. We have got the Creative Women Mini-Con. We're going to be starting to really kick that off soon and let you showcase all the ladies for you so that you can see who we're bringing down. And also September 1st, you're going to see more about this on my Facebook page, on Empire's Facebook page, Union Street Choir, the book that I co-write with Jaime Usulk and he draws, is going to be on Kickstarter, and we appreciate all the help that you guys can give us. Thank you very much and have a great week. Milk.